For 25 years, Seth Lightman has seen it all. From the newest electric car revolution, solar power, bike lanes made in NYC. And now, we are here. More electric cars, need for more renewables and eco-friendly products in our world. Well, now it's time for an all-out podcast for this time, The Green Living Guy Show. He's funny, real, exactly on point, and some think his style is so raw, it's crazy. Let's do this, folks. It's time for The Green Living Guy Show.
Do you want a podcast on green living? For over 25 years, podcaster Seth Lightman has been into electric cars and solar since the 90s. Now he wants to bring his experience, New York attitude, and love for green living to the masses so that we can all have fun, live greener, and save this planet for generations to come. They say a true man plants a tree that will never sit in the shade. That's the green living guy, Seth Lightman at heart. He is also an author and editor of 9 Green Guru Guides and has worked for New York State for 10 years doing green. For more information, visit greenlivingguy.com and subscribe to his podcast.
Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing the final episode of Seeking Sister Wife. But before we do, we are going to do some hot goss. So, Selling Sunset, which we all know, is getting a surprise spinoff, which is going to be set in New York City. So, as reported by Deadline, the streamer has ordered Selling the City, which will focus on agents at real estate brokerage Douglas Elliman as they navigate the cutthroat world of luxury real estate in New York City. Selling the City is the third spinoff, as we know, from the main show, following Selling Tampa, which didn't go so good. It's Selling the OC. And the first season of Selling the City will consist of 8 episodes with a release date not yet confirmed. Netflix also recently announced a UK show, which has already been released, called Buying London. I do want to check out the show, see what it's about, see if it's something worth covering, although I just haven't had the time to do that. So you might get something from that from me. But it will be after we discuss The Ultimatum, Perfect Match. It has to be set back because we have a lot of shows to cover and very little time. But I am aware of it, so see. So, next piece. This is more Below Deck related and kind of following now the season finale. So Below Deck season 12, as we already know, has begun filming. We talked about it where we saw Fraser and Captain Carey, but there's another familiar face from this season that is also going to be on season 12, and that is Kyle. Kyle's going to be on season 12, which is really great. I liked him. You know, nothing too crazy about him except for he really likes to show his dick. But otherwise, it's great to see him there. So, yeah, and the other thing too is I think this is pretty much confirmed, especially after the season 11 finale, that Ben is never coming back as Bosun or maybe in any role. And Captain Carey, kind of after seeing, I guess, the episodes, is really frustrated with Ben. Makes me happy. So that's kind of that. The other hot goss that I have is 90 Day related. It's actually with respect to Devin, Clegg, and Taeyong, which I think, as we kind of all know, he unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer. But she's kind of done a little bit of an update on him, which is kind of a rare update. She hasn't really said much about his cancer journey. Not that she owes anybody anything, maybe his father. But she did do an update on him, documenting his visit to the Make-A-Wish Tower. So she said, quote, Taeyang got to hang his star at the Make-A-Wish Tower. It was such an amazing, beautiful moment. Thank you so much, Make-A-Wish Utah and Make-A-Wish America. She captioned a video from their visit via Instagram on May 30th. She said the past 2 years have been the most challenging years of our lives. Make-A-Wish has made this cancer battle so much easier. A special thank you to everyone. After praising the foundation, Devin shared that Taeyang, who's 5, is thriving and doing amazing and has surgery soon to remove his chemo port. She says, we are hoping he will get to ring the bell in August and officially be cancer-free. Although we still have a few more months of heavy treatment, we have high hopes he will beat this. Again, she says, special thank you to all of the fans, I guess, who have supported us. As many know, it's been difficult, and we only had support in one camp, and that camp includes all of you. Thank you so much for your prayers, the gifts, the letters, and support. It's meant so much to all of us and Taeyang. So that's great. But that's basically it. I was able to find pictures of the cast members for the new season of Toe coming, so I'll post those. I still have to post the photo with Mary. I will actually have that posted. I believe by the time you get this episode, it should be already posted, of Mary's new book. So that's still sitting there waiting to be posted. So I'll get that out to you as well. So everything will be out to you by, yeah. And memes are coming too. So there's that. Or it should have hopefully, fingers crossed, be already done. But let's get into the reason that we are here. So Seeking Sister Wife Season 5, Episode 13, Seeking Our Forever. So the Davises are first. And we're kind of left with Nick asking Danielle whether or not she still wants to go down this path. And she says, I think Jasmine, hangs really well with us, I think things are good. Ma'am, you literally are not interested in any of this. And I think with what we know, I think it's totally understandable that she's not all in on Jasmine, right? She says, I am afraid to get excited. And, or he says, I'm afraid to get excited. Are you sure? And yeah, and she's like, well, I mean, Jasmine, she's like, he's trying to say like something about Jasmine, but he says, no, I'm talking about you. Are you okay? Are you good with this? And I do, as much as he creeps me out sometimes, I do appreciate that he's literally saying, no, I'm asking about you. I'm not asking about anyone else. Because she needs to kind of be told that, because she has no issues telling the camera she's not about it. But she can't even tell him I'm not about it. So, he says, like, can you see yourself marrying her? And I think she says, like, I naturally get along with her. Dating in general makes me nervous, she says. We kind of know. And she says that she's used to being in the power seat. And I actually like, you are? Because I feel like even if you were in a monogamous relationship and you're given the power to be in the power seat, I feel like she's the kind of person who doesn't know what to do with said power or knows how to handle it. So I found that actually really surprising. But she is feeling good about everything. That's a lie. But anyways, let's get ready for bed. So they get the pillows that no one cares about off the bed, and we're going to be putting Nick smack dab in the middle. So where all the quote unquote cuddles are, he says. And like his goofy, like ass smile too. It's his goofy fucking smile that I'm just like, Can you not with the smile, sir? Like, you're it's gross. So it's the next morning, and I wrote, who the fuck is snoring like that? I think it's April. I think April snores like that. But meanwhile, Jasmine is awake and she's trying to like crawl out of bed. So she goes like under the covers in order to get like out of the end. And Danielle is actually the only other person who's awake. And she says like it was odd having her in the bed with them. But you know, Jasmine thinks it was nice to have people kind of around her while she slept. And I'm like, the only person I want around me while I sleep is my partner alone, only him. I don't want more other people. It's weird. Anyways, whatever. She also says it was quiet. Interesting, because we literally just heard April snoring her fucking ass off, but it was quiet. Sure thing. So Danielle and Jasmine decided to go talk outside. I guess, you know, to have some bonding between them. And she's like, so how, do you think things are going? Jasmine says, I see no problems. No problems at all. And Danielle says, if things go, like if things progress in the way they are, we would want you and your son to move in. Like, is that okay with you? And she says, I mean, it doesn't scare me, you know? Then Danielle says, you know, being a sister wife, it's hard, you know? It's not like easy. And she's like, I don't tend to speak up, and I wish that I did, which is interesting that she's saying that because, again, she says, like, I don't speak up and I wish I would, yet Nick gave her an opportunity to speak up. April and Jen have given her opportunities to speak up, and she chooses not to speak up. Yet she says she wishes she would. Where's the disconnect? I'm so confused by her. And she's like, you know, I moved out. You know, like that's how hard it was. And you know, she was brief. It was brief, but dating like this, it's a first big step for her. And Jasmine says, you know, her opening up, it's brave. Definitely. She says it's brave. And you're thinking, great, you know, we work with that. But then she says, but I don't anticipate having the same issues that she does because I'm secure in myself. Shots fucking fired, ma'am. Like, I remember, like, again, recording this like a week out from the episode. But I remember thinking, what does that mean? So you're basically trying to say, like, I know you're not secure in yourself, and that's why you did it, but that's not going to be me, because I am secure in myself. Security doesn't mean shit, because especially, like, when you are the new shining toy, your security is going to be through the roof. But as soon, and again, everyone is different. Danielle's issues are not everybody else's issues, but it's just like, it was just the dig. It was the dig for me. It was not nice. But Danielle says she didn't really engage with me. She's kind of feeling like they're having a conversation, but it's very one-sided. She's like, I don't know if maybe she's just listening, you know, and taking that in, or if she's just not interested in having a conversation with me, which is a problem for sure. So, but again, with what we know, again, if you don't know, I did mention something at the end of the last episode. Again, if you want to know, you can also search on Reddit. But it's interesting with everything that we know with this timeline, it's dynamic, that no wonder Jasmine and Danielle don't get along. It's not surprising. They are, yeah, yeah. So Nick is now awake, and he is, and so is kind of everyone else. Everyone else is also kind of waking up. And in the moment, he says, you know, he's definitely interested in Jasmine, and he would like to potentially date her, you know? But she's leaving now, and she wants to keep learning about them. And like I said, he would like to pursue a relationship with her, but it's not just up to him, which is this is the dynamic they've chosen. He says that he would although be disappointed if they weren't to pursue her. He would be disappointed. Well, prepare to be disappointed. So now it's been a few days since the sleepover, but they are going to kind of have a little powwow about the sleepover, about Jasmine, see where they're going to go, and we're going to see where we're at. So, are we continuing to date her? It's the major question. And Jennifer's like, she's great. And Danielle says, she is bold, she's great, nothing went wrong, but nothing went right either. She's like, I'm not, like, really feeling moving forward is the best idea. And April says, I do feel reserved with her too, and is maybe why she's kind of agreeing with Danielle. And Nick says, or Nick is like, I am disappointed to hear that, but I have to accept the structure that we've created. And he's like, what I want isn't going to override what I have. Which is, you want to tell that to fucking Garrick? Jesus. Anyways. But then kind of April says, but if you feel like we should be dating her, then maybe there's something we're not seeing or we're not like observing that maybe you are. And, or I think Jen said that, not April. And Danielle says like, yeah, I mean, maybe the connection is going to be slower moving. Maybe I'm trying to rush a connection with her that maybe we don't need to rush it. Right? And Nick says, yeah, but I didn't have to work at the connection with any of you. It all came naturally. So, yeah. And both April and Jen also agree that they didn't have to work at it with Danielle either, and with each other. So basically, let's have the vote. Do we date Jasmine? Do we not date Jasmine? And the answer, it's a no. They're not going to pursue Jasmine. Well, everyone is like, I'm with Danielle. We're not going to do this. And she is thankful to Jasmine, Danielle is, because it has kind of helped her through the dating process. And she's like, it's been tough. We were struggle busing. And I'm like, struggle busing? Isn't it just struggle bus? You're on struggle bus. Or just struggling. Like, what? Anyways, but they will keep dating. Maybe we'll even date a couple of people, And Nick's like, what? 2, 3 more? He's like, I don't know what y'all talking about, but I'm definitely interested. Of course you fucking are, Nick. Anyways. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's basically it with them. We'll do the update on them at the end. But yeah, that's basically it for them right now. Let's move on to the Merrifields. So Garrick and Mariam are having some alone time, getting to know each other. And he would love to receive love from her too. You're fucking gross, Garrick. But he's like, yeah, let me sit closer to you, Mariam. Put my arm around you, Mariam. And she's like, my hair's in the way. You're fucking hurting me, you fucking twit. And she is like, or I think he says, she's beautiful. woman. She's curvy. The fuck? And he's like, she knows how to doll up because, some women just don't know how to do that. What fucking Twilight Zone did I fucking enter into? This fucking guy was talking about how, some women don't know how to doll themselves up. I'm like, have you looked at yourself in the mirror, sir? The last person needs to be talking about how women look is you. You fucking disgusting. Bleh. Anyway, she does not feel comfortable yet with like touchy-feely. And she's saying this while he literally has like his hand on her leg, and she's clearly uncomfortable with it. And she asks, like, how would you feel if I put the hijab on? So again, the hijab is something that Muslim women wear. It's, not unusual. But he says, I would ask, where's my beautiful wife? You fucking idiot. A hijab is not meant to hide her beauty. It doesn't hide her beauty, but you equate her hair as, like, I don't know if he's getting confused. I can't remember the proper term for the garment where it covers everything but the eyes. But I don't know if he's getting confused with that. But we're going to go based on he isn't confused and he knows what hijab is. You're basically solidifying the reason why Muslim women wear hijabs, which is that they are more than the beauty of their hair, and that not everyone gets the privilege to see that. You're making that a fucking reality in this moment. Her hair doesn't equate her beauty. Her face equates her beauty. And that's the whole purpose of wearing a hijab. And it's just, this fucking guy is like literally like, where is my beautiful wife? Like, I can't. I just can't. It is also very disrespectful because it is something that her religion believes in, and she seems to be at least somewhat involved in it. Her Muslim faith is an important part of her to whatever degree that is. And you're disrespecting it by saying, oh, the hijab is going to hide my beautiful wife or whatever. I'm like, I just hate him. And he's like, I would want to pull it off of you. No, you don't have the right to do so. Like, that is, because she says, like, that might be something I want to do, is wear the hijab. And I don't know if she's actually serious about maybe potentially wanting to wear the hijab, or if this is as a test. Either way, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, he's being very disrespectful of her religion in this moment and making it more about looks, about the sexual attraction, about all of those things, when he claims that those are not the most important things and the reason why he wants to live a plural lifestyle. You're fucking gross. He's like, yeah, you're so gorgeous. And again, I've kind of ranted. He says, I didn't always love God. I was a bad boy. Started a gang in town. You started a what now in town? A gang? Or just like D&D? I feel like that's exactly what it was. It was like D&D. What the fuck? He's not a fucking gang? Again, what Twilight Zone did I enter into? He's like, yeah, I used to make people pay me for protection. What? You were providing protection to people. That's fucking funny. That's fucking funny. Him? I would be asking for refunds. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Yeah, he's like, the game was called Always Thugging Crew. Always Thugging Crew. I can't. this is too much. But anyways, he's like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, he's like, we did it, whatever. I think he's like, okay, or whatever. And she's like, did he have a gang, or was he just like an entitled boy with money who just rebelled a little bit? Not even that. Anyway, she wants to get to know him more. She wants to go slow and steady. And she doesn't want to, like, live in this town. And he's like, why not? He's like, a small town. I would be the only brown/tan person here. I'd be the only person of color here. And she doesn't feel comfortable, which is totally understandable, living in a small town when she's the only potentially the only colored person. I wouldn't want to do it either. And he's like, well, I hope that maybe she'll just change her mind, because this is a great place to raise a family. Like, ugh. He just wonders, like, she is also a little standoffish with him. Is it her culture or is it them? I think it's just him more so than anything else. But then we see Mariam is leaving. He wants to go see her already. She hasn't even left yet. And I'm like, sir, what is it with you taking off while your wife is pregnant? Although I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You didn't know she was pregnant before you left the first time. But what is it with you just up and leaving? Just because, like, you haven't even established a relationship with this person yet. You're just dating. Or not even dating, but just getting to know each other and seeing where that takes you. Like, and he wasn't want to jump on and go, like, I want to go and see her, like, now. Door to door. Like, it's just, shut up, Garrick. Really. Anyway. But he says, this isn't goodbye. It's just to see you later. I'm pretty sure I saw that in a movie once. Danielle says, if we move forward with Mariam, Nathalia would not be happy. And as Danielle is saying, she would not be happy. Danielle is on cloud nine. She is happy. She is smiling from ear to ear. She don't care about the princes. She's perfectly content with Nathalia not being fucking happy any of this. But 3 weeks later, after Mariam has left, she's like, Danielle says that, she's like, feeling really sad with a huge fucking smile on her face. And she's like, things are really bad with Nathalia. It's so bad. Should I be crying? Should I be upset? Okay, no, show more? Is that okay? I can't even fake it. She doesn't give a shit that Natalia's uncomfortable. She's like, she didn't expect Mariam, and now she's upset, which, yeah, you didn't tell her, you lied to her. And she's like, she doesn't know how, or doesn't know if she wants to, stay in this at this point. It's disheartening, but, God's gonna do what God's gonna do, right? It's all in God's hands. Yeah. 3 days after this, we do see Nathalia has sent a video to producers to kind of give her side of things. So she says, I discovered new lies, and the main one is that Garrick invited Mariam to the house. In the beginning, I expressed dissatisfaction with him adding a new person without me first living with the rest of the family first, which again I think is very similar to Bert with, what was her name again? I know I said her name last week and now I can't remember. Leah. It was very similar. Bert did not feel comfortable with Leah being potentially added either, in that whether she was scamming or not scamming, was the demise of their relationship. And we're seeing the same pattern again with now Nathalia. And yeah, she says, you know, he talked to me and said I could trust him and that he would wait. He also demanded total submission to him, a fact that I do not agree with. Ding, ding, ding. That explains a lot with Danielle too. This is a guy who wants submission of all his, which is probably also why, the spoiler alert before we get to it, why Mariam didn't work. Does Mariam look like the kind of person who's going to give total submission to a man? No. So yeah, and she didn't agree with it either. So she's like, for these reasons, there is no relationship between us. The next day, Nathalia officially broke up with Garrick and Danielle. So they kind of say, yeah, things escalated, you know? And she kind of apparently said to them, like, how dare you talk to Mariam? And when you said that you wouldn't, because Danielle had this all planned. And she's like, I feel like she was okay, or Danielle says that they felt, or Danielle or Garrick, one of them, it doesn't really matter, said that they felt like she was okay initially about Mariam, which is contradicting even what they said previously, because they said before Mariam even got there that Nathalia was not okay. She didn't want to know anything because she figured that this wouldn't become anything, so there was nothing to tell. So no, she wasn't okay with it. She was never okay with it. You're now trying to spin that narrative because it works better for you to spin that narrative. Yeah, but she said, but then she felt like we lied to her and tricked her. He says, I just feel like she is unwilling to address the issues in her heart and in her mind. You know, she's just not being a team player. So it's always the woman's fault. It's never your fault. You're so pussy hungry, Garrick, that you can't even just deal with the women you currently have. And you're just repeating the same fucking cycles over and over and over again. If you can't handle being with someone from Brazil because of the distance, I mean, can't you try to find a Brazilian in the States already? If, like, that is, like, a requirement for you or something, which is really gross, but anyways. Yeah, he says, like, I don't want to lose a wife, sorry. But it's better that it happens now, because if she doesn't want to face her problems, she's not going to grow up. She's not going to mature or change. It's like, I got 2 kids, or, you know, then I would have to deal with another, potentially. It's a blessing. You know, they're really taking Nathalia to breaking up with them so much better than Bert, which kind of makes me feel like they just didn't give a shit about her, really and truly. Danielle just smiles. She's fucking ecstatic that this didn't work out. They say that we are still seeing Mariam. Nathalia is missing out on a great blessing, they say, and Garrick is a great husband, she says, and I'm like, I don't think so. But anyways, but yeah, that's basically it with them. Let's do the Ryans. Not much here to really talk about with them. Becky's back home. They're gonna talk about the date and how it went, and he's like, yeah, I tried to push it to see, like, where she's at, because it has been a few months now that I've actually been dating. It feels like it's only been a few weeks, but it's been a few months. But, you know, due to, you know, being fast with Stephanie and how that turned out, you know, he says, like, I'm cool with taking it slow now. That's not what you told Yary when you were on the date with her. You literally said, well, if we end up dating somebody else, like, don't be surprised. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, he then tells Becky about her wanting a man onto herself. And she says, I think you might be in the wrong relationship. which is true. Why does she keep like dating, right? Like, does she think like maybe something is going to happen if she sticks around long enough? Maybe you'll break up with me, because that's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen, right? It's never right. It's never gonna. I'm asking. It's a question. It's never gonna happen, right? Because I know like you're really attracted to Latinas and Arabic women, and I know I don't fit those things whatsoever. So I just want to, right? It's not, you're not going to break up with me. Like, she's such an insecure person. Sorry. Like, I think she tries to be like, like a person who isn't insecure, but it's like, I see you through you. You're insecure. Anyways, yeah, she said that will never happen. So what is her end goal here? Which is a fair point. Maybe she needs more time, which I think she does. And, she says if we do end up finding someone else in the meantime, then we'll focus on that. And Becky basically has no relationship with Yary, where she did have one with Stephanie. But again, let's see how that turned out. And they said, well, I guess we're going to keep seeking. Of course you are. I hope we don't have to see you still seeking, though, because I really never want to see you people ever again. But people are looking to have a secure and safe environment, and we got that to offer. Okay. You literally came from a cult. I feel like safe and secure environment is incorrect when you are literally brainwashed. So, anyway, that's basically it for the Ryans. Like I said, it was very short. But let's do a Where Are They Now? So as we know, 2 months later after the breakup with Nathalia, Danielle and Garrick welcomed their daughter, which is Leah Lily Melissa Merrifield, on my birthday, May 17th, 2023. Yary did go to Florida with them. The Ryans are still dating Yary, despite her lack of commitment. She's happy to have Becky kind of tag along, with them sometimes. Are you kidding me? Nyla and Naeem have a new woman in their life. Her name is Ebony. Next month, they plan to meet her for the first time. Things are still tense between Jamila and Nyla, but they are hopeful that one day she will accept their decision. I hope I never actually have to see them potentially figure that out, or them dating Ebony, because I never want to see these cousins ever again. Moving on. Shane and Ashley are no longer in touch with Sarah. They have been stood up and catfished while continuing to seek, but they remain optimistic that they will find the perfect sister wife for Ashley. The Davises are now dating a special new woman. We don't know her name. We will probably see them on another season. Danielle is happy that she stayed and is cautiously optimistic that the new woman will one day be her wife. Danielle and Garrick are no longer dating Mariam. Surprise to absolutely no one. They met a new woman. Her name is Lorana, I believe. Upon their first meeting, Garrick baptized her, yuck, and proposed. Of course, he fucking did. And they are currently trying to bring her to the States on a K-1 visa from, you guessed it, Brazil. These fucking people. But that is basically it for this episode and this season of Seeking Sister Wife. So my overall thoughts, because that's kind of something I've been doing now, my overall thoughts on the season. The season was actually really good. Cringy, which is everything we want. I believe we will definitely see the Merrifields again. They're kind of the bread and butter of this. We're going to see them again. We're going to see the Davises again. I hope we don't see the others. I could see us seeing Shane and Ashley again. But I did kind of, understand the reasonings for doing this. I absolutely hated Nyla and Naeem's storyline. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to them. The best part of their story was Jamila. And once we find out that they're actually first cousins, I just am pretty much out. The Ryans, which again we know is not the real names. I never want to see them again either. Becky drives me insane. Justin is a creep. And I want Yary to run. But overall, this was a pretty good season again. At least we have some seeking with the Merrifields, with Davises. At least they somewhat delivered on the actual seeking aspect of things. But otherwise, it was a good season. But that is a wrap on Seeking Sister Wife for this season. And that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea x2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea x2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea x2 pod. We also have our email, which is at realitytea2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realitytea2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.